Hello everyone, thank you for joining Parkinson Voice Project for today's online Speak Out Home practice session. My name is Samantha Allenderry. I'm a speech language pathologist and the founder of Parkinson Voice Project. Our nonprofit organization's mission is to help you regain and retain your speech and your swallowing. Thank you so much for joining me for our practice session today. Today's topic, we're going to talk about teddy bears. Teddy bears. Did you know who inspired the teddy bear? Answer that question with intent. Well, if you don't know, you're going to find out. All right, before we get started, we need to take a picture and smile with intent. So everybody pick up your cup or your glass and just give a nice smile. With Parkinson's, we need to practice smiling with intent. Ready? Here we go. Very good. Now take a sip of water with intent and we'll get started. Our first speak out exercise, it's called the warm-up. I want you to lift your voice and project it forward. Make your voice fly over your computer, over your television set. Here we go. May, me, my, mo, moo. Again. May, me, my, mo, moo. When you're doing the warm-up, make sure to connect the sounds. Ready again? May, me, my, mo, moo. Very nice. When we say connect, sometimes we say string them together. Ready? May, me, my, mo, moo. Make sure your voice isn't here. We're speaking out. One more time. May, me, my, mo, moo. Very nice. Take a sip of water. We're going to move on to speak out exercise number 2. It's the ahs. I want you to deliberately open your mouth wide and project an ah forward. Here we go. Ah. Good. Let's do it again. We hold it a maximum of 10 seconds, but it's okay if it's shorter. It's more important to be very clear and a nice strong sound. Not yelling, but projecting out. Let's do it again. Good. Again. Very nice. One more time. Good. We're done with the ahs. Take a sip of water. Today after this session, it is Thursday, so we have our Parkinson sing-along. Did you know that over 900 people clicked on the video a week ago? So that's amazing. If you can participate live, wonderful. You'll have the link in the chat, or you can go to the homepage of ParkinsonVoiceProject.org. The Parkinson sing-along is every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. Central Time, but the video is available for you to use 24/7 for the whole week, and then the next week it switches out. Share it with your friends. Tell other people about it. I think so many people can benefit from the sing-along. Let's move on to speak out exercise number 3, the glides. Project out a steady ah first, then glide up. Ready? Ah, ah. Good. You did it. Let's do it again. Ah, ah. You got it. Make sure you try to get all the little notes in there, okay? Little notes. Don't jump. Ah. Try to get all the little notes. Ready? Ah, ah. Good. Again. Ah, ah. Very good. We have one more. You can do it. Ready? Ah, ah. Good. Everybody, let's take a sip of water. All right, it's time to move on to the counting. I want you, just like you did with the warm-up where you strung the sounds together, I want you to string these numbers together and then stop completely at the end of each row. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. We're speaking out. We are not yelling. There's a big difference between projecting your voice forward and yelling. We don't want to yell. We're not going to hurt our voices. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Notice how I'm not letting it trail off at the end. I even really think about reaching forward or projecting out more on the last number. Let's exaggerate the last numbers of each row. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Very nice. Take a sip of water. So I have a couple announcements. You notice that Sarah from our clinic has been doing more sessions. We would love to get your feedback about the sessions, maybe something you liked about her sessions, something she can improve for the future. And tomorrow's session will be conducted by another speech pathologist here at Parkinson Voice Project. Her name is Brittany. And we would love for you to send feedback. Brittany would love to hear your feedback. And you would always send an email to intent@parkinsonvoiceproject.org. I have one more announcement I'm pretty excited about. Parkinson Voice Project is going to be featured on The Balancing Act. Have you heard of that show? That is a show that is on Lifetime. I'm going to have Sandy post the link. There is a YouTube link, which is the premiere. So it's going to premiere this Saturday and next Saturday. And so we're going to put that link in the chat. If you're on our email address, we'll be sending out an email to everybody. But it is a 5-minute segment about Parkinson Voice Project. I hope that we're going to reach so many people with this. I'm pretty excited. Okay, The Balancing Act. All right, today's topic, teddy bears. Teddy bears. Who doesn't like teddy bears? All right, we're going to read a few facts. And I'm going to ask you some questions afterwards. So be ready. So pay attention to these and then be ready to speak out when I ask you the questions. First, let's read each sentence twice. Teddy bears were inspired by Theodore Roosevelt. Again, with more intent. Teddy bears were inspired by Theodore Roosevelt. I didn't know that. Next one. Roosevelt was the U.S. president from 1901 to 1909. Make sure to exaggerate the highlighted words. You use more intent when you do that. Let's read that sentence again. Roosevelt was the U.S. president from 1901 to 1909. All right. Who was the teddy bear inspired by? Say the name with intent. That's right, Theodore Roosevelt. Let's read this sentence. The biggest stuffed animal in the world is in Mexico. How big do you think the biggest stuffed animal in the world, how big do you think it is? Just take a guess. How big do you think it is? How much do you think it weighs? Say it with intent. All right, ready? Let's read it together. It weighs about 2,000 pounds. Oh my goodness. Let's read it again. It weighs about 2,000 pounds. And here is a picture. Oh my goodness. The biggest teddy bear in the world. How much does it weigh? Say it with intent. All right. Let's go ahead and do Dr. Boon's word. Take a sip of water. These are called Dr. Boon's words. They were given to Parkinson Voice Project by a voice expert, Dr. Daniel R. Boon. He is the speech-language pathologist in the late 1950s who first recognized that intent could help people with Parkinson's. So he recognized it in the 1950s, and Parkinson Voice Project brought intent to life. Exaggerate the G's, the K's, and the NG's. We'll do each one twice. Ready? Gu, la, gang, ga, Again. Gu, la, gan, ga, ga. And the next one. Ku, ka, man, gu, ka. Ku, ka, man, gu, ka. Ready? Gangla, gangla. And the last one. Kukla, kukla. Very nice. Take a sip of water and we'll do the bonus reading. Oh, I have a picture to show you for your conversation exercise. Look at this picture. Now, who wouldn't like a bed like that? Go ahead and describe that bed. And just take a guess. I don't actually have the measurements on this bed, but pretend you're describing it to someone for a large bedroom. Describe how big it is and pretend we can't see the picture. How would you describe it to someone? Say every word with intent. That bed looks like I would get swallowed in it. All right, let's go ahead and do the bonus reading. All right, are you ready? Here we go. Theodore Roosevelt, the U.S. president from 1901 to 1909, inspired the teddy bear when he refused to shoot a tied-up bear on a hunting trip. The story reached toy maker Morris Michtom. Maybe Michtom? What do y'all think? Let's say Michtom. Okay, Morris Michtom, keep going, who decided to make stuffed bears as a dedication to Roosevelt. The name comes from Roosevelt's nickname, Teddy. So let's read it again. I'm not sure if I'm saying that name right, but we're going to say Michtom. And I apologize if I'm wrong. Let's read this again. You saw the words, you got used to them. Now let's read them with more intent. Ready? Theodore Roosevelt, the U.S. president from 1901 to 1909, inspired the teddy bear when he refused to shoot a tied-up bear on a hunting trip. The story reached toy maker Morris Michtom, who decided to make stuffed bears as a dedication to Roosevelt. The name comes from Roosevelt's nickname, Teddy. Did you know that? I did not know that. Thank you, Lisa, who is one of my assistants who put the session together. All right, sing-along starts in a couple minutes. Just click on the Zoom link in the chat or look for Parkinson Sing-Along on the front page of our website, parkinsonvoiceproject.org. And please, sometime over the weekend, send an email to intent@parkinsonvoiceproject.org. Give Sarah and Brittany, you'll see Brittany's session tomorrow, give them some feedback about their sessions, what you liked about them, and what they could improve for next time. All right, thank you so much for joining me. As you're learning how to speak and swallow with intent, I hope you're learning to do everything with intent. Live with intent. And now it's time to sing with intent. Thank you.